So today's topic is history of Indian remote sensing. So before going to the history of Indian remote sensing, we have to see some important inventions. Like in year 1038 AD, A.L. Hazen, an Arabian mathematician, explained the principle of camera to observe the solar eclipse. He has not taken the picture, but he has invented the camera obscura, which we can by that we can see the solar eclipse. Later in 1666, as you know, Newton has experimenting with a prism and found that when a white light passes through prism, then it splits into 7 different colors. This you know about. This was a very important invention. Why I will tell you later. Because as you know, remote sensing satellite uses the sensors. Okay, so in that we have colors, that is RGB, and we have sensors like IR sensor, mid IR, far IR. Those sensors are there. So later in 1800, Sir William Herschel, as you know, William Herschel, he has invented the IR electromagnetic radiation. He has measured the temperature of light. He has measured the temperature of light with a prism into spectrum of visible color. He observed that, you can see here, he has passed the light through prism, and the prism lights are here you can see. So RGB, that is red color, green color and blue color. So he has seen that from blue color to red color, the temperature is getting increased. And after, what he has done is, after this red color also, he has kept one thermometer. So you can see the thermometers here. So blue color has less temperature, green color has little more temperature, and red color has more than that. And after that, in IR, the thermometer shows more temperature compared to all those three. So like this, he has invented the thermal IR electromagnetic radiation. So this was very important because we are using the sensors in remote sensing satellites. So then when it comes to remote sensing, so history of remote sensing began with the invention of photography, because photography, as you know, from distance only we have to take the photo. So remote sensing is nothing but sensing the things from distance. So first photo was taken in 1839 by Nafse in France, and it took a day. It took a day. Just listen to me. It took a day, around 8 hours, to capture the photo. Only one photo he has captured for a day. That too in bright sunlight through his window. Uh, from his window, he has clicked the photo. You can see this. This is the first picture of through window. Still, you can see the black and white things, because in bright light also it shows black and white things. And this, he has taken 8 hours to take this picture, and this was the camera. You can see here, this was the first camera invented by Nafse. Later later in 1958, first aerial photograph was taken by GFT Nadar. So GFT Nadar is the scientist again. He has taken first aerial photograph from balloon from an altitude of 1200 feet in Paris. So you can see here, this is what can say, balloon, and this was the photograph taken by Nadar, which is at 1200 feet above the ground. And balloon used to take again later in 1860s pictures taken from greater heights, that is 33,000 to 34,000 feet, from free balloons. So the like these balloons were there. They used to take the pictures after this invention. So this was the one of the pictures from the balloon. Later in 1889, Arthur Batut takes the first aerial photo by using kite in France. That was the photo taken by balloon. That was the first photo taken by balloon, and this is the first photo taken by aerial photograph taken by kite. So this was the kite used, and this is the Arthur Batut, and this was the picture taken by kite. Later in 1903, BP Crop uses pigeon to transmit messages and takes the aerial photograph. Later in 1903, pigeons were used to take the aerial photographs. Then in 1903, Wilbur Wright took the first photo from movie. It is from movie from an airplane. He has used the aeroplane to take the aerial photograph. Then in 1914, aerial photographs from planes for military reconnaissance. So this is the first photograph. I mean, by planes. They used planes to take the aerial photographs. And this was the first photograph which is taken by Wilbur Wright. Then after World War III, calibrated cameras were there, and in 1957, now we have used pigeons, we have used balloons, we have used planes, but now in 1957, first artificial satellite is launched, that is called Sputnik 1 by Russia, USSR. From by Russia, first satellite was launched, that is artificial satellite. And in 1972, this is the brief about what you can say world satellites. In 1972, launch of the first Earth resource technology satellite to observe the Earth resources. First satellite was launched by USA, that is Landsat 1. There is Landsat series, Landsat 1, 2, 3, 4. This is of America. So in 1987, Spot, which is the French Earth resource satellite. In 1988, Indian remote sensing satellite was launched. We'll see in the Indian remote sensing satellites in detail. So this is one of the satellite which is for Earth resources. In 2000, Iconos was launched, which is high resolution. What you can say satellite. Around 1 meter resolution was there. Then in later 2001, QuickBird was launched again by USA, and this is the picture of Sputnik 1, which was launched in 1957. So we'll come to Indian satellites. So there are many satellites are there. Around 120 satellites are there, which was launched by India. So we have the resolution from 1 meter to 1 kilometer resolution. I hope you know what is resolution. So we have the resolution from 1 meter to 1 kilometer resolution. So important ones I will highlight. Indian satellites in 1975. Aryabhatta was launched by India. In 1979, Bhaskara 1 was launched by India. And in 1980, Rohini 1 launched by India. Rohini 1 was the experimental satellite which was got failed. The first failure of India. And Aryabhatta is launched by India, but not from India. Not from India in the sense the launching pad was not in India. Launching pad was in Russia. From Russia, we have launched the Aryabhatta. So Rohini, we have tried to launch from India, but we got failed. So this is the picture of Aryabhatta satellite. This is a picture of Bhaskara 1, and this is a picture of Rohini 1. So some extra explanation about these satellites. Aryabhatta was launched for Earth science and space science, that is so space physics, 19 April 1975. And as I told you, the launching site was in Russia. Russia, correct. Bhaskara Saga 2, Saga 1, it is for astronomy, communication, engineering, and earth science, the application of this satellite. Again, this was launched from Russia. Rohini technology payload, that is Rohini 1. This was an experimental satellite which was launched in 1979. Again, this got failed, and this was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center. It is from Sriharikota, as you know, and it is from Andhra Pradesh. So after that, you can see in 1982, INSAT 1, there is a series of INSAT, there is a series of IRS, there is a series of OceanSat, there is a series in the sense, INSAT 1 was launched now in 1982. Later stages, INSAT 1B was launched. Like that, INSAT series is there. So like that, IRS series is there, OceanSat series is there, GSAT series is there, EduSat series is there, Cartosat series is there, Chandrayaan is there, Mangalyaan, IR, NSS, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1C, up to 1I we went, then Chandrayaan 2. So in 1982, you can see INSAT 1 was launched. In 1998, IRS, that is Indian Remote Sensing Satellites, were launched. In 1999, OceanSat, which is specifically for studying the oceans. Later in 2001, GSAT 1 was launched. 2014, EduSat was launched. 2004, EduSat was launched. 2005, Cartosat was launched. 2008, Chandrayaan was launched. Chandrayaan 1. 2013, Mangalyaan was launched. 2013 again, IRNSS 1A was launched. And 2019, Chandrayaan 2 was launched. Why these names are different? I will tell you why these names are different. Like we can see IRS series is there, no? It is used for observing the earth resources, that is nothing but earth science, and also for communication sometimes. But INSAT series is there, no? It is specifically for communication, like television is there, mobile is there. It is only for communication satellite, communication satellite. OceanSat, obviously it is of earth science, specifically for oceans. Then GSAT is there. It is for communication and engineering purpose. EduSat as well. It is for communication and engineering purpose. Cartosat is specially for earth earth science purpose, to study earth science. Chandrayaan, obviously it is for lunar observation. That is the planetary observations. Mangalyaan is also for planetary observation. Then IRNSS. As you know, yesterday we have discussed, IRNSS means it is navigational global satellites. So we are sending the satellites for navigation purpose. So this is the one of the first satellite was launched in 2013. Nowadays, now we have launched around 8 satellites for navigation. Then ResourceSat 1. ResourceSat 1 again, it is for I have not mentioned here. ResourceSat is also the series which is launched by India. It is also used for technology application and earth science. This is a picture of Mangalyaan. This is a picture again. You can see the how the Chandrayaan satellite was formed. Chandrayaan 1. This was the, what you can say, orbit of the Chandrayaan, and this is a satellite of IRS, one of the IRS satellite. So this is again the IRS series, Indian Remote Sensing Satellite series, with pictures. So you can see list 3, list 4, AWIFS. What does it mean by this? The ResourceSat or IRS use list 3 or list 4 or list 2 sensor. Listen carefully. They use sensor list 1, 2, 3, or we can say AWFS sensor. What are the sensors? I'll tell you. List 1 and list 2 sensor has cameras mounted with RGB and IR cameras. So listen carefully. List 3 has RGB and IR cameras. That means what? That camera will take the picture from green band, R band, G band, and IR band. In IR also there will be two, far IR and near IR and mid IR. And obviously there will be sensor of panchromatic to take the panchromatic black and white image. There will be sensor. So you can see different satellites have used different sensors. Like ResourceSat is there, Cartosat is there. Then we have IRS P1, IRS P2. Then here you can see IRS 1C and IRS P3 has used list 1 camera. So this is the camera of IRS list 1, and this was the picture taken by that. It has spatial resolution of 72 meter. That means one pixel was of 72 meter. If you know the resolution, you can easily understand what is 72 meter resolution. You can see this is list 2 camera, which has again 4 RGB and IR, but resolution was good. It has resolution 36 meter. And after that, list 1, list 2, list 1 has less resolution, list 2 has little more resolution, better resolution, list 3 has better than that. You can see list 3 has 23 meter resolution. Again there will be 4 cameras, RGB and IR. So this is panchromatic camera, which has higher resolution, that is 2.5 meter resolution. This is wide field sensor. It is called WIFS, that is nothing but wide field sensor camera. This has very less resolution, but to observe maximum area, this sensor is very useful. It has resolution about 188 meter. Now those were the cameras, few cameras of or sensors of some satellites. Now you can see country wise. Now actually these are the satellites which are launched by India, from India and out of India. From India and out of India means from our land and out of our land, but our satellites were there. Like India has launched around 122 satellites. Out of that, 8 satellites were failed. Which are those? I will tell you now only. Success was 114. From India, we have launched 78 satellites. From European Union, 25 satellites were launched of India only. From Russia, we have launched 6 satellites, and from United States, we have launched 5 satellites. So total 122 satellites were launched by India. So I was talking about failures. First satellite failed, I told you about. That is in 1980, 1917 or 80. That is Rohini 1. Then SROSS, one of these SROSS satellite was there. Only one mission was there. This was also experimental satellite mission, which was launched in 1987. Then IRS-1E. IRS-1E, I told you IRS series is there. IRS-1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E. 1E was launched in 1993. This was failed. Then INSAT 4C and 4D. INSAT 4C and 4D, back-to-back failures were there. INSAT 4C was failed in 2006. Then INSAT 4D was failed in 2010. And one more satellite was failed in 2010, that is GSAT 4. GSAT-4 was failed. Then navigation satellites, we have launched about 8 satellites we have launched. That is IRNSS we have launched for navigation. Out of these 8 satellites, 1 satellite was failed. That was in 2017. So I told you about 8 satellites: Rohini, SRO, SS satellite, IRS-1E, INSAT-4C, INSAT-4D, GSAT-4, and IRNSS 1H. 1H in the sense you can see 1A, sorry, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 7 satellite was filled of IRNSS series. So these satellites use 2 vehicles to launch the satellites. One is PSLV and GSLV. You must have heard about PSLV and GSLV. PSLV is Polar Satellite Launching Vehicle, and GSLV is Geostationary Satellite Launching Vehicle. So obviously you know what is polar orbiting and what is geostationary orbiting. And but there is a difference, as you know. PSLV, that is polar orbiting, is around 900 kilometers from the ground, and GSLV, it is around 20,000 to 36,000 kilometers from the ground. So obviously for GSLV we require much energy, much power. So you can see the height of the satellites is around 44 meter, and this is 49.13 meter height of the uh, launching vehicle. And number of stages means what? As you know, you must have heard about the as the satellite moves up into the space, one by one chambers will remove from the satellite. So this will be 4 stages. 4 chambers will be removed. 2 chambers will be of liquid fuel, and 2 chambers will be of solid fuel. This is solid fuel and this is a liquid fuel. First will be liquid fuel, second will be solid fuel, third will be liquid fuel, and fourth will be again solid fuel. This is a 4-stage process. And wherein GSLV, they use different what you can say fuel for this one. I don't remember now, but they use different fuel for this. But it is in 3 stages. 3 stages are there. Like you can see 1, 2, and 3. One by one, the satellite will remove the chambers. Then PSLV can take up to 320 tons load, and GSLV can take up to 414.75 tons. Again, you can see GSLV can take more weight. First flight September again 1993, and first flight was in 2001 of India. I mean, first PSLV we launched in 1993, and first GSLV we launched in 2001. So you can see PSLV can take again 1750, that is 1750 kgs of load, and can go up to sun synchronism. Sun synchronism is nothing but polar orbiting, which is of 600 km to 900 km altitude. GSLV can place up to 5000 kg if it is in lower Earth orbit, that is 20,000 km, and if it is more than that, that is up to 36,000 km, that can go up to, sorry, it is wrong, 2500 kg. That is GTO. GTO means what? Geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbit. Thank you. I hope